have won the World Cup.
Well, the player of the tournament, Rodri, joins us now. Rodri, congratulations. After everything you have been through, coming back from such a tough injury to win the player of this tournament, and you're now a World Cup winner. What does this mean to you?
We're a bit shocked right now, even myself. I cannot express with words. I think now we're like in a cloud, but as you said, for me it's been a very tough time. I just want that new generations see my example as an opportunity to, when you go down, you can rise again. This is my philosophy my entire life. Of course, sometimes things go well, things go wrong, but always the positiveness. I said to the lads before the game, we have to go for the game. We need to face them. We have to look to the eyes and see we won this game. And then life gives you the World Cup or not, but we were brave, and I was brave in that moment I was down. So I want to thank all the people that helped me, but I want to thank myself, to be honest, in those moments.
Yeah, congratulations, Rodri. I'm going to change my question because I was going to ask about the composure of this team, because you seem, guys, that you came to this World Cup to win it, and you were sure. But I'm going to ask you is what you did in the whole tournament as a group to maintain this consistency since day one, because you didn't start pretty well in the first game.
I think, I said it before, I think the gap of improvement from the Euros, it was the way this team is mature. It's built on the game, it's built on every single day. We faced very different opponents, of course lots of European opponents, but different moments, different type of games, and we managed to play all of them. So I think we grow in this sense, and this talks about a generation that is making history for our country, as you can see, but also in the way we did it.
Landon, how good was he?
And just really quickly, you said you went through hard times. Everybody needs people to help them, and you have your family here. We've been here all day. What does it mean to be in front of them here and celebrate?
I mean, I don't want to cry, but for me, all this that you're seeing here, they're watching us since we are 15. So now they're a bit more, but they were following us with Luis de la Fuente, was under 19 coach. So many adventures live in all this time. And now we're champions of the world, so it's for them.
Enhorabuena.
Go and enjoy it, Rodri. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Absolutely amazing to hear from the player of the tournament, guys. I mean, and so humble, and he's had such an incredible journey, as he spoke of, coming back from an injury just a couple of seasons ago. Last year in the Premier League, didn't see many minutes from him when we did. He was struggling at times. To see him play this well at this World Cup, that is testament to that man there, isn't it?
Incredible moment for everybody watching, kids watching at home, about resiliency and coming back. It was so difficult for him, and it was hard for us to watch. He was a top player in the world, and he went through this struggle. There's not a better midfielder in the world, and I think if you're making an all-time best 11, he's got to be in consideration. He's won everything. He just won the golden ball at the World Cup.
It didn't matter, and I think you just said it, Roy, isn't it? Interesting. The nature of the goal in the end was,
for all
maybe not very Spanish, but so
for
what?
all their technical brilliance, it was a ball into the far post, a knockdown, and a bit very simple but very effective. And we also speak about the importance of players coming off the bench. We saw it in the last Euro final for Spain, and again simple. And again, they're on the back for Argentina. But did I think they'd conceal a goal from this point of view? Probably not. But it was a lovely knockdown again, all very simple. And we see Simone who gets caught in the edge of the box, a young player. We don't want to be too harsh on him, and he makes a run before that. He definitely picks up some sort of knock, so he's definitely kind of limping back into position. But once the ball goes into the box and you let your midfielder to get that side of you, or the attacking player, you're in big trouble from the knockdown. And he never quite
makes the ground up again.
No, he does. Do you know? Well, it's strange in a way. He does kind of get back in there. But then just stops.
Right, don't you think he's got far enough? I might as well go even
further. Of course, you're right, Righty. Again, he's just trying to get
got that far, he might as well go.
In the game, and he is a sub, but he's got to keep going now. He's got to keep going. Keep going. I don't know why he's stopping there. And that stop has cost him. And he knows, he will know, his dad will know, everyone will know that you just got to go the extra few yards. Because he's made the effort to go all the way back in there. Dad will know, everyone will know that you just got to go the extra few yards. Because he's made the effort to go all the way back in there. He's got to go the extra 2 or 3 yards. What Williams
Good technique here, Ian, as well from Torres, because quite often you see people, we're about to see it with Simeone himself, hit it too hard in that situation.
You know what's good about that, guys? Obviously, he's weaker foot as well, Poogs. You can see the concentration on just hitting it. And I always say, hit it high. hit it higher, because like if you hit it low, you got bodies, goalkeeper bodies trying to block. If you hit it high, it might hit an arm, or it might hit an arm and go in, but hit it high. That's what he done. He just got a really good connection on the side foot, got it on target with good power.
We were going through a bit of deja vu because after Spain took the lead, they sat back a bit, Roy, and suddenly Argentina had a couple of chances, didn't they?
They did, absolutely. Yeah. Again, of course, they're going to go for it and gamble. And obviously, they're up against it. They're tired now.
This is the one. If
you're going to get one chance, and obviously, we just praising Spain there for getting over the ball. He's got technically, he's not. Listen, I think he's been poor throughout the court. He's been on a slide, his walk rate. But he, like Rodri was saying, he's certainly got to hit the target. You might get a handball, you might get a deflection, but you've got to hit the target.
Has he not got his feet sorted out?
Well, you know
properly?
what it was? I think there was one earlier on. We showed Messi when he had the same thing. It's coming. It's the same thing, but you've got to get your knee over it so you can stay balanced.
That's the volley against Egypt.
So you want to hit it low. You got to hit it low. He's kind of leaning too far back, and that, again, it was he's okay there to get up there in the box to hit that, but like it was a poor strike from him in the circumstances.
It was, even by Spain standards, that was a bit of a nervy last 5-6 minutes, wasn't it?
It blows my mind. I know that Messi just sits out of the game, that teams haven't cottoned on to that and just sort of, if you like, just put someone as a sort of like almost
guard.
like you have someone cheating up front. Yeah, guard. Just go and have someone stand against him, because when he does get on the ball, it just frightens you to death.
Why did Spain keep dropping back? You know what I mean? Even the Spanish do it.
They didn't drop back that much.
All right.
There was nothing wrong with their mentality, though, was there?
No, exactly.
No,
and they got the job done.
Yeah, they got the job done. They kept the ball actually up the other end when they needed to as well. Funny, because Yamal obviously came into his game in the semi-final. That was probably Williams' most effective time as well. He came into the tournament injured as well. Mm-hmm. And I think it's easy to forget that at the Euros, they were both fit the whole time. Really, and that's why they had such an impact. It's taken a bit of time for them to get up to speed.
Well, even him in that game there, he done some really good things. His pace is obviously a problem for them. He done a couple. I thought he had a good chance where he could have maybe squared it, or he could have gone on and had a shot. Them great skill, but he messed that up. But I think that's just a little bit of rustiness. But in the end, his header back was absolutely brilliant.
Just to tell everybody, we're waiting for the presentation party, not Justin Bieber again. We may be waiting for Bieber, I don't know.
Just one thing, the Spanish manager took off Laporte and Rodri.
Yes.
At 0-0. I think that's incredible. You talk about bravery and sort of substitutions in matches. They're probably Spain's two most influential players in those clean sheets.
And that was him saying, I'm still very confident we can get a goal.
Absolutely.
We only need to go one way. Let's go back to the stadium in New Jersey. Emma Hayes and Karen Carney are with Laura Woods and with their thoughts on Spain's win.
When you play at the tempo they play, obviously, we expect physicality from them, but when the final whistle goes in a World Cup final, you've got to have more class than that.
Disgusting. There was one man on the pitch who did have class, and that was Lionel Messi. Shook hands of every one of those Spanish players. The game's done. They could have absolutely no complaints about what happened today. Disgusting behaviour. Rodri, I don't think, needed to get in their faces, but when you've been wound up for 120 minutes and you felt you've been wronged and you felt the referee's on your back and you've got that win, referee's blown his whistle, leave it. And I think Argentina, are you surprised they've gone over the line again?
Yeah, Joe hit the nail on the head. It's quite embarrassing, really, because for all I give Argentina that praise in terms of how they approach the game. Yes, they know Spain are a better team on the ball, but what can they do to disrupt them off the ball? And in the game, there was just on the cusp every single time. For the first yellow card wasn't until 40-odd minutes in the first half. But seeing that sort of stuff after the game's been played and someone's just been crowned World Cup champions, it's not good enough. It's quite embarrassing, to be honest, because that Paredes there, he doesn't need to do that. He's better than that, And he doesn't stop there. He keeps going and going and going. And we all know what it's like to lose a game. We can be very frustrated. We understand that. But this is not good enough. It's not a good look at all.
That's a reaction to them being outplayed, outthought on the football pitch, and then the result of that at the end. So it's sad, it's poor from the Argentine team players.
Huge frustration spilling over. But for Spain, let's focus on the positive, because an incredible tournament. To concede one goal through a whole tournament has been a marvellous defensive display from them, but also in attack, and the possession-based football they play is so attractive.
The lesson in football that they've taught the world at this World Cup is absolutely phenomenal. Never rattled, never under pressure. That was as much as it got after the final whistle, after they got the World Cup, because they haven't nibbled once. They've kept playing beautiful football the whole entire time, and they've fully, like I say, fully deserved this with a great team effort.
Luis de la Fuente has now won the Euros and the World Cup with this side. He's actually taken quite a few of this side through the age groups, under 19, under 21. He's a career international manager, and he's created some things very, very special.
He has, and a lot of these Spanish players have grew up and come through the system together, so to be able to enjoy these moments, the European Championships 2 years ago, now the World Cup, we've seen it at the end there with Yamal and Williams sat on the pitch. They're lying there taking it in, just looking, thinking like, what has happened? They've won both the Euros and the World Cup, Yamal at 19, so these are just special moments and memories which these players will take with them forever.
They're singing Viva España just in front of us here. I thought it was only us who sang that. I didn't realise Spaniards actually sang it. But the scenes below us, the Spanish fans, they've had to be very patient, haven't they, through this match?
They have, and they've been massively outnumbered here today, but they showed their support for their team. And just to touch on Lamine Yamal at 19 years old, we looked at him before the game, 5 chains on hat, and his confidence, the way that he's doing this world, everyone will be trying to get on his back, everyone will be trying to hate on him, but he's sat there with a European medal and a World Cup. What a beautiful, beautiful day for that young man. I'm so pleased for him. 19 years old.
He was 19 just a week ago, and he burst to life for us, didn't he, at the Euros?
Not burst into life, he burst on the seat gaps.
Well, we know he burst into life 19 years ago because we've seen him as a baby, of course, with Lionel Messi, and that handing over, if you like, of the baton. We've seen Ronaldo depart potentially the international stage in this tournament. Who knows whether this will be the end for Messi, but when there is talent like Lamine Yamal, the game is in rude health.
We call him Lamine the Dream, don't we? And I mean, Mbappe's been sensational. we do. And Mbappe's been phenomenal at this tournament too. But in terms of winning the Euros and the World Cup at 19, and coming into the tournament with an injury, a hamstring injury as well, and just growing into the tournament, and it was difficult for him today. Tagliafico was really tight to him, and the thing I liked about him most, he didn't react, because he was trying to get into his head, and you know what the game could have been like if he would have reacted, try to get him sent off, and he was just so calm. For someone at 19 to show that composure and be that good on the ball, he's an absolute superstar.
Physically still growing as well. Not only did he not react, he stood up to it. He wasn't rattled, he didn't back down, he had the whole entire team trying to smash him. He just kept so cool, kept his head, kept trying to have those.
Like about the Spanish team is Yamal has had a difficult tournament. He hasn't been, at his best what we've seen over the last couple of years. But then the subs which they've made, Moreno, Torres coming on today, winning goal, almost being an out the team. The manager deserves a lot of credit for what he's built at this team.
Yeah, and what he has built here is incredible team spirit. And a lot was made, actually, that there were no Real Madrid players in this team and in this squad when he selected the squad. Obviously, there is now, because Cucurella has of course moved from Chelsea to Real Madrid. But there is clearly a plethora of stars, huge stars in this squad, but they work together.
Yeah, I think the squad's got a really good balance. It's got some experience, a lot of youth, but they've got players who've grown up through the system together. They know each other's game inside out, and that's shown. The winners as well, they won the Euros 2 years ago, so they've had a big advantage knowing how to win and make the competition, and I think that showed as well in the game today.
Well, you've been talking about all tournament, you've been talking about goalkeepers. Can we talk about Kubasi at the back?
Do you think he's a contender for the young player of the tournament?
He's outstanding. When he plays in Barcelona, at times they play very high, and it's difficult. He gets exposed in behind. But in this team, the leadership, the composure he shows, he stands up to everything. 19, conceded 1 goal in the whole competition. It's outrageous. When I see these sort of players, for the future, like you said, Olmo's been excellent. Nico Williams coming on the left-hand side. Yamal, the future looks so great for Spain.
Shall we have a look then at the goal that has won Spain the World Cup? And while it will go down as obviously Ferran Torres' brilliant goal, Williams involved in terms of keeping the ball alive.
Yeah, it was, and this is from the kick-off of extra time. And then the ball goes back to Simon, and Argentina's don't really rush to try and get any pressure on the ball. Obviously, they're down to 10 men. And then, Messi, obviously, they're playing a 4-4. Messi's not really helping out defensively. So then the ball goes forward. And then now, this is where they needed that little bit of luck or something to force them in the penalty box.
But that's the thing there, and this is what Joe was talking about a little bit earlier in the show. But what Argentina did, defended so well. And you see Simeone there with Torres, when he comes onto the pitch, what the difference with Argentina, they were switched on. He switched off for a moment and he gets punished. That is a different thing.
They've got the numbers. That's not down to a numerical disadvantage. That's down to Simeone switching off. Brilliant from Nico Williams. And that finish, Wayne, on the half volley, left foot.
It's incredible. It's a great knockback, but to finish it like that, have the composure at this stage of the game, to get the elevation just to get above the keeper, and the calmness, and to hit it with the side foot and just guide it into the roof of the net. It's such a great goal.
Fantastic finish from Ferran Torres. And Williams, again, another great talent who has had to kind of be patient in this tournament as well.
I think what's really good about it, and we'll show this disallowed goal now, but in terms of when they come on, the impact, you have Berner who plays a little bit different, but then the disallowed. When you come onto the pitch, you have to have impact, and whether that's running in behind, and then this, unfortunately, it was given, but if you look here, the reason why it was not given, it was there, it was foul, Marino stands on.
But is that enough? Is that enough for you?
It's not enough, but it was given, and the referee didn't blow the whistle before the ball went in the net as well, so it was always going to be difficult, but we don't want to see goals disallowed for that. It's too easy.
Spain could lose the World Cup because of that. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Get rid of VAR, get rid of all these bad decisions. I hate it.
But I think we've got to absolutely commend Spain's mentality, because all very well they play this pretty football, but they've been absolutely superb to not give up. They could have felt like the whole world was against them today. There was fouls, various fouls not given, goal not given. They must have thought this could actually go to penalties here, and the way Martinez was playing, but they kept the quality, kept the composure,
kept their cool against a team who stuck doggedly to their game plan as well, and trying to physically ruffle them up, trying to get into their heads, as any opposition is going to have to do. If you're going to beat that Argentina side, there is going to have to be a mental composure.
And it's trusting his subs as well. Marino coming onto the pitch in previous games, scored the winners, and he comes on and makes a difference. When you're talking about midfielders or false nines running into it, look at the timing of his run, and Way will know a bit better than me, but as a defender, it's just there. He should do a lot better. You talk about the header there.
But what he does, his run into the penalty box is not a big long run where the defender can see him. He gets in a position, then it's just a little 2-yard run, and normally you see him
again, don't we, for Arsenal? But these all came after the red card for an Enzo Fernandez. Let's have a little look at the second yellow, Joe, that obviously led to the red.
Yeah, first one's dissent. So obviously that's disappointing in the World Cup final. He feels aggrieved, straight up, arms thrown at the referee. For once he said, I'm not going to have that, and he picked up this yellow card, and the brakes had to come on here. He's so committed, and he's sent him for a cartwheel. I have no idea what his argument was that he hadn't made the foul there. He must have known that as soon as he doesn't get that ball, it's an absolute blatant yellow card, and that took forever to get cleared up, but the right decision was made. He had to go. How
big an impact did that have on the overall result?
Yeah, it had a lot, because what they could do, they could start getting runners, and we saw that with the winning goal, but it was just, in terms of the way Argentina wanted to set up, you know Messi is going to be up front, but when you had an Alvarez or Martinez in previous, you all know he could go up there, but we can defend. That extra in terms of the timing you've got to run, it makes a difference, and especially when going to extra time, the tiredness of the team, it was always going to have an impact.
No team had ever played in a World Cup final without a shot until the 17th minute. It actually took a lot longer for Argentina to get theirs on 117, but suddenly there was a flurry from them and a realisation that it was coming to an end and the chances came.
There was, and I think that coincides with Messi getting on the ball a little bit more, and then you knew it was going to come at some point, and this is great defending. You know, they're getting in down the sides, they were putting balls in the box, but this was actually a free kick they took quick, which I was thinking, what are they doing taking this quick? And then they get a really good opportunity from it, and then again here he just leans back and gets it high over the crossbar. If he gets his body over the ball, he gets that down and gets the equaliser. But Spain deserved it, so I'm really pleased that Spain won in the end.
No, but can you talk about the spirit there? For Argentina still to be getting chances towards the end of the game with a man less as well, and they've just never beat. Yes, in terms of quality, and you know the man on the screen deserve to win
There's
the World
such lovely
Cup.
scenes. Lamine Yamal is being kind of handed around to his teammates and hugged, and you can see just the absolute love and admiration they all have for him and how special he is.
I love to see that, and I love to see the joy in his face. He's still a young man at the end of the day, and they've allowed him to be young, they've allowed him to be free. He's completed football, he's only going to get better. It's absolutely brilliant to be here and witness this.
You talk about him completing football at 19. What about Rodri?
We talked about it before the game, didn't we? How much of an impact he has in this midfield, from winning the Euros to getting Ballon d'Or to winning the World Cup to Champions League, but also having the knee injury and then coming back. We've had knee injuries before, it's very difficult to come back, and a lot of people had wrote him off. Pep said he's going to be back at his best at the World Cup. He was absolutely right, and he was the best midfielder in the tournament, hands down.
I think there was a few players from Spain who went a little bit not under radar, but I thought Cucurella all tournament was outstanding. Goalkeeper was outstanding. Obviously Yamal was in and out of the tournament, I felt, and my man Olmo, I absolutely love him. I thought just both in possession, out of possession, he gives Spain something a little bit different. I think we knit it all together.
Well, we, of course, have all enjoyed seeing that picture brought out of the archives of Lamine Yamal and Messi. Messi, of course, giving him a bath when he was a baby. Well, here's the full circle moment. Is that the moment when the legend passes on the baton? Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
He's got a long way to go. He has been absolutely superb, and we'd love to have seen him really shine today, but there's no doubt about it. He's going to have so many more magical moments in his career. But the respect he's got for the great man and the career path that he's trying to follow, I think that's a really classy moment. I love seeing it.
Luis de la Fuente, we just touched on him briefly a few moments ago, but actually Scolari as well. These are managers who have come through managing age groups, international managers, international managers as opposed to big name club managers who've been kind of flown in to do a job. For example, Thomas Tuchel, Ancelotti with Brazil, Nagelsmann with Germany, who've come with a specific purpose. Your job is to replicate what you've done in club football and win a major tournament. Does it tell us something about international football and the culture of management that it is different?
It is very different, and it's difficult as well. International football is really difficult to play, to compete. And club football, you have your players every day. There's a development plan in place for the players. At international football, you're getting your players moments when you don't know what the fitness levels are, you don't know what the injury levels are.
Well, Spain controlled virtually all of today's final against Argentina, but it wasn't until extra time that the holders finally cracked. Ferran Torres off the bench, scoring the winner in extra time. Spain world champions for the second time, and you can see right there what it means to everyone back in Madrid and in Spain. Incredible scenes. I'm sure you'll see plenty more over the course of the next few days. This World Cup began with a record 48 nations, and after 104 matches across 39 days, Spain are the last team standing. And maybe, I think, for the last time, let me reintroduce you to Thierry Henry, Zlatan Ibrahimović and Alexis Lalas, and definitely for the last time, we're going to show you the highlight from this game. Well, the FIFA World Cup trophy, of course, being brought out. We had all the pomp and circumstance, Alexi, that this game deserves beforehand, before we got stuck into the business, and there wasn't much to talk about until the second half.
No, it was Spain just chipping away at this stubborn Argentinian team. Lamine Yamal's going to put this cross in here, and Ferran Torres with the header, but just finding no purchase. Right into the hands of Martinez. Continue on. I'm going to give you a little foreshadow, and then I'm going to let T take over later on here. Enzo Fernandez, all right, he gets fouled. He's angry, as one is. You can't do that. A little bit of dissent. Referee says, no, I'm not having that. Not on my watch. I will give you a yellow card. And you can clap. Doesn't matter. You got that yellow card.
And then Nico Williams goes on the counter. We all thought that was going to be the moment. I'm sorry, but he should have passed that ball to Lamine Yamal on the second post. As you can see, Lamine Yamal is upset. And Emiliano Martinez saves it. And if you're on the yellow, Enzo Fernandez, don't go so much into that challenge. You know, you can't go like that into that challenge if you're already on a yellow. It's a red, and rightly so. And then Lamine Yamal, we all thought that maybe he was going to score, but Emiliano Martinez on the way to take it to extra time, 0-0.
Zlatan.
Then we're gonna see a situation here where Spain actually scored and the whole stadium thought they scored, but the referee saw something else. Look, Nico Williams scores. Spain celebrating, even Nico Williams, but the referee whistled before that shot was made. And if you can see here, a little step on the foot, and was awarded free kick there, Argentina.
Give us a real goal, man. Give us a real goal. See,
Yes.
come on.
Now we're gonna see here. Look at this. The images speak for itself first. And then I'm gonna tell you, look at that pass from Nico Williams also. The back pass follows up by who? Thierry.
The ex-players.
Everybody's happy. The first time they won it was in extra time. The second time Spain wins it is also in extra time.
1-0 both.
Let's go. First World Cup goal by who, Rebecca?
Ferran Torres.
No, Iniesta, the first one.
Oh. I don't know what you were asking.
She's enjoying back behind us. What do we have here? We have a corner from Lionel Messi and a shot outside the goal.
They did have a moment, didn't they? Right near the end. They definitely had a moment.
Maybe, but then it was finished. Game over. Spain, World Cup champions.
This is what I meant earlier. You know, we can talk about Kylian Mbappé that won, the Golden Boot. We can talk about Michael Olise with his assists. We can talk about Kane, Bellingham, and those guys had great tournaments. Those teams also. That's not because you don't go to the final that you don't have a good tournament. But at the end of the very day, this is what I'm saying. This is what you want. Lifting the cup. And I'm sure you ask those guys, they will tell you the same thing.
The captain Rodri then lifting the trophy. The City midfielder was back to his brilliant best this summer. His reward, adding a World Cup title to his sparkling resume. It has been a festive day at New York, New Jersey Stadium. Fireworks going off right now. And in the end, Spain reigns supreme. Plenty more reaction still to come.
Не забывай, мой потерянный рай, что в тебе таится малая. Но не забирай, пока небо сохранит тот май в ней, пока в небо еще сил набрать.